I am Santiago Rodriguez. I am 26 years old. I am from Argentina, and I go by the name of Kabi on Hearthstone and pretty much every other game I play.
Right, my name is Koyuki Kiyonaga. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I'm on Illuminati.
Oh, I'm playing versus Koyuki. First time hearing this.
But yeah, there are a lot of good players right now. A lot of like really solid top tier players.
So, to be honest, I don't have any intel on him. I don't have a good knowledge on what he does, what he doesn't, how he plays.
I don't know if there's anyone that I look up to necessarily. I mean, I kind of also got in at ground level, so these are peers more than mentors.
Because everyone that got here has to be good enough to be able to beat me. But I am not afraid of anyone in particular. You shouldn't care as much about your opponent as you care about how you play yourself.
So, yeah, it's a card game. Almost anyone, after you get to a certain point, can beat almost anyone else. And that's something that I very much try to keep at the front of my brain, especially when it comes to other players. You know, no matter how good they are, you're still going to have a chance.
It could be a bot, or it could be the best player or the worst player. I just have to deal with what is in front of me.
There we have it. Koyuki and Kabi. We have Chalky joining us here at the caster's desk. What do you think about this matchup?
This matchup, definitely players we haven't seen in a while. Koyuki going all the way back to the Fight Night days, and Kabi is kind of a fresh face.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. I saw you had some notes on the World Championship points of all these players involved today. How's that looking?
Yeah, in this match, Kabi has 20 points already, so in decent standing, but not quite yet in qualification standing, and Koyuki actually has 0. So he's looking to get some points at this event.
Now, what does 100 points mean to any player here?
So 100 points is the first place prize, and that will put you right into the top 8 of pretty much any region and get you some buys in the World Championship qualifiers. Pretty important.
That's some good stuff. Kabi and Koyuki, we see their classes here. We see the Hunter from both players. We see the Warrior from both players. We see Shaman from one and Rogue from the other. Now, you were talking a bit about this yesterday, just we were talking about things. That Rogue seems like a pretty good third choice. Yeah. But how do you compare that to Shaman?
Shaman, if it's maybe like the Mech Shaman can have a chance against anything, so that's a decent choice. Standard mid-range Shaman, they struggle a lot against board clears and whirlwind-like effects, so they can get pretty punished by Patron Warrior, and they also struggle a lot against Unleash the Hounds and face damage. So they can struggle a lot against Hunter.
And Warrior.
And yeah, Hunter and Warrior are generally pretty good against the Shaman, so I don't recommend it if you're expecting Patron Warrior and Hunter. So I'm thinking it's maybe more the Mech Shaman, and that's pretty coin flippy. If you're able to get that early aggression, it can do very well against Patron Warrior.
All right. Well, we are seeing the Rogue out of the gate here against Kabi's Warrior.
Wow, we saw Ysera. That means it's most likely Control Warrior, and that shield block pretty much confirms it. Control Warrior versus Rogue, very, very, very heavily Warrior favored matchup.
Especially with the Fiery War Axe. Very important card in this matchup.
Yeah, Fiery War Axe is really good.
Yes, 2.
Well, oftentimes a lot of Rogues...
2's not good, though, is it?
No, 2 is not good.
It's not good, but it's not that bad, depending on how many 3/3s your opponent produces, which the Rogue has like none right now.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bad, especially with the third weapon.
I think Rogues in general just have very, very few.
Yeah, generally you save your 3/3s against Warrior to play 2 3/3s on turn 6.
Yep.
So
you mean SIs?
SI and Farseer.
Farseer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you want to play them both at the same time on turn 6 to avoid just weapons killing.
Both players just have all of their weapon stuff.
That favors the Rogue, though, because the Warrior, most of the weapon stuff is like, 2 attacks, single file, and the Rogue is, well, just kill you. I don't really care how much health you have.
Oh, the Jones, though.
That's going to be really big later this match.
Yeah. But yeah, not the greatest draw from either player.
I think when both players draw badly, it favors the Warrior, though, doesn't
it?
Definitely, yeah. The Rogue is the one that is unfavored, so they need to draw better to win the matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their hero power is just worse. Like, the Warrior just keeps gaining armor, and you keep doing basically nothing.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think the chances are that we see like some kind of surprise new deck in this kind of tournament format? Because like it does discourage that a little bit being Conquest. but at the same time, with people expecting cards in such a standard form, maybe the surprise factor is bigger than normal also.
I don't know. Like Patron Warrior and Midrange Hunter have been dominating, or Hybrid Hunter / Midrange Hunter have been dominating the ladder for like a month and a half now.
Yeah.
So I feel like if there was one new deck that beat both of those, that like broke the meta, we would have seen it on ladder by now. Someone would have hit number 1 on ladder with it. So I don't think it exists.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
It would be pretty good if someone could come up with a counter to both and use it as their third deck. I think that's going to be a big story of this tournament, is what players decided for their third deck. Like, both of these players have Warrior and Hunter, but they both came to very different conclusions on what their third deck should be.
Yeah.
Shaman and Rogue.
So far, we've seen most of the advantages come, well, Demigod won with his strategy to bully Hunter, which was very nice. But also, Trump's strategy was, not nothing. It was, people playing weapons. Let's put Harrison Jones in every deck.
Yeah.
So fine adjustments like that does make quite a big difference in this type of format.
Yeah, actually in this matchup, the Warrior played a Despite and passed, and Koyuki could have coined out a Harrison Jones if he had one in his hand. And it's not unheard of for Rogues to be playing Harrison right now.
Yeah. So we're talking a lot about everyone having a Hunter and a Warrior, but Kabi's lineup is a Control Warrior, which is much different than a Hunter and a Warrior, because most of the time when you think Hunter and Warrior, you're thinking the Patron Warrior, and they're just going for the 3 strongest ladder decks, basically.
Yeah,
but
in an interview, Kabi described himself as a very control player. Like, he enjoys making really greedy, value-based plays, really loves control decks, so... But he did say he respects Patron as one of the best decks, so it still surprised me a little to see it.
He must have some sort of plan. Maybe he's trying to bully something specific with this lineup.
I'm really interested in what his Shaman deck is. That's like the main question right now.
Yeah, that does seem very unusual.
Yeah. Shaman doesn't
What would
bully
be
much.
more unusual than Shaman? Priest?
No, Shaman is the most unusual.
Shaman is
Definitely
the most unusual.
It is the most underused tournament class out of all of them.
Yeah.
Even though some players from time to time have had success with it, even somewhat recently.
Yeah.
I feel like the Mech Shaman is, the safe bet, but knowing that he's a control player, likes really greedy stuff, maybe he thought, hey, I'll bring mid-range Shaman, bring it back.
Maybe some Control Reincarnate Shaman.
Yeah.
Something crazy slow.
That's so much weapons.
Yeah, this Rogue hand is pretty ugly.
Yeah, that heal bot was not what he was looking for.
Passing with 4 mana.
I mean, it works well with the hand. You're going to lose a lot of life this game.
That Harrison's actually going to have a hard time going off because, 2 flurries, all the weapon enhancements, and a prep. He's probably going to flurry the turn that he plays all these enhancements.
Yeah.
And it might be this turn.
He might have to be, He's got 22 damage if he's able to do everything all at once, so he's almost there, just not quite.
That's crazy. Yeah, he doesn't have a 2-charge dagger up, though.
Yeah, he would need a 2-charge dagger up. And even then,
he'd need more mana as well.
More mana as well, yeah. But you break it up into two Sparts because he's got 2 flurries.
Yeah, he could get a flurry off with everything except one of the oils, which would give him... Is that an 8 attack dagger? So 16 damage and an 8 damage flurry to clear the board.
Wow.
Take him to 11. But then, after that, what do you have? You're just sitting there with no cards.
You got the top of your deck.
So I guess maybe that's what we'll see.
It's like he's going...
Or, greedy flurry.
Yeah, he's trying to
He's going to go
oils.
really low.
I think this might indicate that he's running...
South Sea deck.
South Sea, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way he's going to have enough damage to finish the game.
Right.
Off that line.
He knows he's not dead. There's no mana for a Grommash combo right now, and he's got a heal bot to stabilize soon. But I wouldn't be surprised to see these axes just start going face.
Controlling.
Whoa. We have not seen the Black Knight in a really long time.
There are quite a few classes that the Black Knight just doesn't hit. Like, Grim Patron Warrior doesn't run that many taunts, does it?
No, it runs like 1 Belcher.
Yeah.
One Belcher and maybe one of the Pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're hitting a Pirate
And
with
maybe
Black Knight.
in the rarer case, we talked about Ghoul, maybe.
Yeah, that's not a good Black Knight deck.
You're Black Knight in that, you're probably dead.
Well, now you definitely have to heal bot here. You just have to respect Grommash, and he's going to dagger and hold it, and that's going to get the Harrison out, I think. From Koyuki, or from Kabi's perspective, you can't really be greedy with the Harrison, because your opponent could have the other flurry and just kill you in a turn.
Yeah, you can't leave any minions up either usually.
Now, if he did have the pirate, if he had just the absolute nuts, each one of those tinkers is worth 9. And then he gets 2 from the pirate, 2 from the dagger. So that'd be 22, so he's still 7 off. With just the perfect hand.
Well, now it's 2 off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can eviscerate phase.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the amount of things that need to happen for the rogue to win this game. Just ridiculous, especially with the shield maiden, the belcher in hand.
Yeah, more and more armor, more and more taunts.
Yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, usually the only way rogue wins this matchup is if they can get the shredder on 4, maybe even coin the shredder on 3 and then have the other shredder after that.
Yeah, shredder is one of those annoying cards for warrior because they can axe down the front part, but then you're going to take
denies
damage.
the second part.
Yeah. They're taking on an average, if you do the math, it's an average of 10 damage if you're weaponing a shredder down to death.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's a lot. It's weaponing
Average
it over 2 turns.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the shredder that gets axed right away, and then the minion that pops out gets an attack to face in.
Yeah, and then you have to axe it again.
So he's got a Nefarian
But the
looking to
average
get
isn't
some
3 damage off a shredder, is it?
It's 2.
I think it's 2.2 or something.
Yeah, something like that. And
So it's
it comes out to
probably
around
about 9.
All right,
9.5. Yeah.
9.6, and you round up to 10. But
Yeah. Okay.
okay,
All right.
okay.
Other viewers want information. It's good to go over everything.
Okay.
Well, he's going to need a lot more damage than that here.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
The sap will make the warrior overdraw, but I think he's got all the cards he needs at this point.
Head crack.
You never know, that could get him.
It's gonna happen right now.
Maybe not next turn with the Lotheb probably coming out. But if you Lotheb and Shredder,
No,
you'd
what
have to prep the
if
sap.
you belcher axe head crack? You've set up for lethal.
So okay, let's think optimistically. Like, what's the way you could win this game if you're
As the
Koyuki?
rogue?
Because he hasn't given up yet. Like, he's still competing to win. So
Well,
you definitely want to Lotheb.
How close are the computers together? You could try and like wiggle the plug out with your foot.
So the combo is
That is an
22
option.
damage, so he needs to get 7. And so he needs to play both minions.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't have enough mana for the full combo.
But he's got another prep
Yeah.
in the deck.
He's going to have to draw into more stuff, so he can't win next turn for sure. We know that. And of course, with taunts and armor, he probably can't win at all, but he doesn't know that.
Well, if he swings at the shredder, maybe take some extra damage.
Yeah, he's just going to go face with that head crack with the cruel task. Yeah. Forcing the rogue to clear because he knows he can't die at 36.
Oh, he gets the prep.
That's decent.
Yeah, you got to go all in now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You just play everything
You play everything.
you put your cards on the table.
and say go.
Yeah.
Koyuki agrees. And they both hit the Lotheb.
Yeah, that's a big Lotheb.
I think you'd rather have them hit either
Separate
both the
minions.
Shredder or separately, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with like Brawl,
Yeah.
Big Game Hunter.
Execute, shield slam.
Assassinate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
you
old
gotta watch out for
assassinate.
the Warriors assassinating you. So,
He doesn't
gonna
actually...
assassinate Belcher, and could he die anyway? It'd have to be a draw card, probably Sprint.
It's sprint into sap deadly poison. No, he's used both deadly poisons.
Yeah, so if he was like thinking about that, he made that play really fast.
No,
But there's actually no way he can die anyway.
he's gonna need like a
And
really good
that's gonna
shredder
be-
pop. It's
Yeah,
not
he,
game
he
over.
actually needs a heal or a taunt.
That's a
Taunt.
taunt.
And that's a taunt? Is that enough? No. Oh.
No, the head crack's
it's
gonna kill
not.
him.
The head crack will actually kill him.
Wow.
You axe through it.
And then head crack.
No,
You
just
don't need the
axe.
head
You don't
crack,
need the head
unfortunately. I hope he does.
I hope he head cracks.
Yeah, you can just head crack for fun.
Yeah, get him.
He could execute it too.
So many options. So you execute it, go face with slime, and then finish him with the head crack.
Oh,
Perfect. And axe.
Oh, he's going to
Don't-
finish him
don't
with the
attack.
slime. Nice.
Okay.
Okay, optimizing the kill.
Yeah.
I
Good
liked
on
it.
him.
I liked it.
He's like, damn. I guess I was dead that whole time. Yeah.
I mean, he fought pretty valiantly though.
Yeah, and Koyuki didn't really have to reveal too many tech cards. He revealed the heal bot, which is
Yeah.
sort of could be important later.
Now, with the Warrior winning a game, can that actually hurt him? Like, doesn't Control Warrior do pretty well against Patron? Doesn't do pretty well against Hunter?
Well, winning never actually hurts you,
but
it can be a less important win. And in this setup, I think the Warrior was pretty much going to get a win eventually.
Yeah.
So it's not like a match-defining win.
Yeah.
Koyuki definitely still has a chance. The Rogue was never going to, be favored against the Warrior in the first place.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, do you go with the dice roll on the next one?
I would go with the dice roll.
You go with the dice roll
I'm
too?
of the school of thought you just random every time.
I like trying to think. Like, I know that it's all random.
Thinking's overrated, especially
I think there's definitely like behavioral hints you can pick up on, patterns you can see within what people do. If they're not dice rolling, then I definitely feel like I can get some sort of edge.
Well, what I've seen at least is, what you mentioned. Most players who lose just stick to that deck. That seems to be a thing. And if it happens to be a thing here, well, let's think about that. How would that turn out?
So if you expect your opponent to stick with Rogue, you would go with the deck you think's better against Rogue. I don't know which one that is in his case. He has
Shaman,
a Hunter, and a Shaman.
Yeah, probably neither.
I would expect it's the Hunter deck. Hunter is generally pretty good against Rogue if you're not running the really heavy version with like Savannah Highmane as your main way to win, because that dies to sap.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
stuck with Rogue, and he went with Hunter. So maybe there are mind games going on.
It's not just the dice roll. There's definitely things. You can also,
I would have dice rolled.
You would have dice rolled.
Sometimes, since you sit right across from the player, you can see him. If they just like do one click, you're like, obviously he's re-queuing up. But if it's 2 clicks, he must have switched.
Oh.
See, then you kind of know.
Next level.
You just spoiled it though. Like you should have just kept that to yourself, so you could be.
They're like
there next time.
They're like blasting white noise in there. Like you can't hear anything.
You can't hear the click, but you can like see their mouse hand sometimes.
Gonna watch.
You can see the tendons in their arm as
you try and
I'm just saying, as a player that played in the LAN last season, I did none of this. I just randomed it every time.
You gotta take any advantage where you can get it, though. You gotta try and.
Maybe you do.
It's not like Dr. Broom's going to be merciful to you.
Yeah, you got to try and figure out where you can get your edge within the rules, of course.
Okay.
No cheating, but
cheating.
That's definitely not cheating to just watch your opponent and study him, study the enemy, learn from them to destroy them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pro tips from Firebat.
Yeah.
I like it.
None of that online, and both of these players have only ever competed online. Well, Koyuki's
Is that true? I don't think
Koyuki's
that's true.
been at events.
Yeah, he's been at events.
Yeah, he's also from other card games, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's played many other
He
card
plays
games.
a lot of
other
card games.
Yeah.
Kabi, not so much. He said he actually wasn't too hyped for Hearthstone when it came out. He was a big player of the Warcraft series.
Oh.
But tried it out and loved it. So
sweet.
Come all the way here.
Yeah. All right. Well, we see the Shredder and the Hunter. That does
the coin for the
pretty
Rogue.
much tell you kind of what it is.
Not really.
I have no idea what type of hunter this is.
There are 2 different lists with the Shredder.
Yeah, no, there's 3. It's in every list. There's even there's hybrid hunter that doesn't run Highmanes that runs
It's not
Shredders.
on the face list.
It's not in the face list. It's just that one. It's not in, but it's in the 3 other ones.
I've got a face list with Shredder.
All right, so it's even in the face list sometimes.
We see what's better.
All right, it's the slow one.
Yeah,
slow one.
Yeah,
slow one's not that great against Rogue, is it? Because you get cleared, especially if seeing double Blade Flurry.
Yeah,
it's pretty obvious what type of Rogue it is.
But it's Hunter. Anything can happen. Sometimes you can draw the perfect curve, and if they don't have the one thing to clear one of your minions, you're just going to be able to deal enough damage for your burn to kill
but right now it looks like the Rogue has a lot of things to clear every one of your minions.
Yeah, the Rogue's definitely sitting pretty. That's what it always feels bad playing a knife juggler.
Yeah,
going into
the
Rogue
coin.
With the coin. Yeah.
And if you were really observant, you knew he kept a card.
Yeah.
And that card's probably backstab or SI.
Yeah, it's got to be either backstab, prep, or SI.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's just going to freezing
trap. Wow.
That's interesting.
Trying to play
maybe baiting a snake trap here.
Yeah, baiting a snake trap so then he coin SIs this instead.
Ooh.
That would be
That'd
really
be
good.
sick if that happened.
Yeah, if the coin SI actually happens, that is a sick play.
Because like if you're Koyuki here and you dagger this and it's snake trap, you're really upset because it's not like you can Blade Flurry.
Well, you Blade Flurry the next turn, you take 3 damage.
Yeah, but
just go for
it. Wow, he baited the coin SI. That is...
This is a play like...
That's really next level.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm really excited about this play. I know not very many people in the audience or anybody else cares, but that was really intense.
Because the freezing trap also lines up really well with the SI.
Yeah, this lines up perfectly with the SI. This is disgusting.
It's like an outplay that he didn't really even like have to do anything for.
Yeah, that was sick. Wow.
Feels like Koyuki almost like outthought himself. Like he was so worried that he like respects Kabi so much that he assumes like why would Kabi just throw a freezing trap on 2?
It is pretty interesting. I think a lot of people watching probably just don't really care. But
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that the whole time you
Hunter
guys
no
were talking.
stupid.
Yeah.
That was
So, like, of course he
disgusting.
did that. I can see both the hands. That's what I would do when I would see both the hands, of course.
I think a lot of people, like myself included maybe, would just go for the juggler there
too.
like and hope they don't have it.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Like because you need to push damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see like Koyuki now, what's your play? Like you have to
Yeah.
you have to inefficiently answer this.
Wow.
Just a really small play that led to a really important result.
Yeah, he's setting up to be able to prep
Yeah,
eviscerate.
Because that
pushes
Liak's
for
going to get
6.
6, yeah.
Yeah. He's setting up to be able to prep eviscerate and play Shredder and
Yep.
clear the minion as well. So now the knife juggler
Pretty good
comes
top
down.
deck.
Yeah. I think otherwise you were actually playing that chicken.
You'd probably just hero power.
You think so?
Yeah, it's 2 damage versus a dagger and
Yeah.
1 damage next turn, which is 2. But you can always play chicken. Especially on 5. Like, he has nothing to do next turn. Chicken also enables kill command later.
Yeah,
like,
that's
it's,
true.
It's a
2
cheap
damage.
beast.
Yeah.
If he draws Houndmaster, which you might play,
Yeah.
it's an easy way to enable that.
What
do we
can you do here? It's too bad you don't have 5.
Yeah.
Well, with the freezing trap out of the way, I do kind of like trying to get the Shredder out as early as possible.
Yeah, you can't really do a good flurry here at all. So,
I think prep eviscerate dagger Shredder is still like the line we set up for last time. Like, it doesn't feel the greatest, but you need to catch up on tempo, and that's one of the only ways to do it.
yeah, you'll be ahead.
And he's going to need to rely on top decking something to combo the other SI, I guess, at that. Oh, he's going to take the
Wow.
slower line. But this is good as well.
Seems fine.
Now he has something else
Yeah.
to combo the SI in his
This
hand.
is
Yeah.
better against the hand that Kabi has, because Kabi has a really slow hand unless he top decks something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that great.
Yeah, but if Kabi would have been able to just play on curve here, it would have been really devastating.
So there's the
for
chicken.
Koyuki.
Chicken has been played,
Yep.
and it is going to die immediately.
It's going to die really quick.
It's dead. It's basically gone.
So, do you flurry this turn?
Another prep.
Yeah, I feel like you can go ahead and
Yeah, you
prep
prep.
flurry and play the 5 mana SI.
No, prep SI,
yeah,
then
of
flurry.
course.
Yeah.
Of course you SI before the flurry.
Yeah.
And we know Kabi still looking for a play on turn 6.
It's definitely debatable whether or not you want to play the 5 mana or the 3 mana one, because redaggering is
Oh,
fairly
yeah.
important.
That's true.
Especially
I
with
think I like
another
the
flurry.
flexibility though, because
I like playing the 5 mana.
Yeah, the
it's
5
just,
mana
it's just
one
so
is just-
dead otherwise.
Yeah.
it's kind of just better because next turn if you have to dagger, well, it's not directly better because you might want to dagger and not SI next turn.
And it's pretty likely that Kabi does get something to play because he gets a
get-
draw off
yeah.
the web spin and then he gets an actual draw.
Yeah, you should have.
Maybe it's another chicken though. Oh no, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is really good.
Pretty well.
That lined out really well.
That card is considered pretty terrible, but it's really not. There's just
Off of
way
Web
better
Spinner,
options than
It's
constructed.
actually
Yeah.
pretty good because
Yeah.
you can play it right before their Belcher turn, and it lines up really well.
All right.
Sap, but no Savannah Highmane.
Nope.
Just gonna have a Dr. Boom next turn.
Yeah, Dr. Boom is not the greatest thing to set. It generally comes back.
You can do like the super tempo turn here. Just sap the 5/4 and
Trade.
no. SI.
Oh, okay. And get your other SI frozen.
Yeah.
He just got unfrozen.
Too
You're
bad.
freezing him again?
Yep.
I feel like Koyuki is playing towards a sap draw with this play, or a sprint draw with this play. Like, because the cards in his hand are not enough to deal 28. Like,
Yeah, so he
off
needs
the
to get-
top every turn.
If he gets sprint next turn, he can play SI in the same
Yeah.
turn, sort of thing.
He's playing to draw sprint. If he doesn't draw sprint, he probably loses, and sometimes rogue matches come to that.
Well, he has the sap here, so he can sap Dr. Boom, but Dr. Boom's going to come back with more friends after that.
Hey, lights out.
That's always really depressing.
Really
Yeah, it
never
is.
gets better.
But you still have the Blade Flurry. So
Hey,
in
lights
terms of like board development, sap isn't the worst thing.
Well, you can actually clear it. You lose
That'd
everything.
be ugly. Yeah. He's gonna
Oh,
go
he's
for
going to
it.
go for it. Yeah, you can't afford to keep sapping it. He'll
he gonna
die.
take-
Oh, Captain's
wow.
Parrot.
It's all right. It'll take a 4 damage bomb.
Yeah, I'm just gonna die
Guaranteed.
anyway, right? Alright, second flurry gone. That's important to note as well. He still has all the weapon buffs left, but no flurries anymore. So those
4,
lost a huge
3.
amount.
Oh
Wow.
man,
That's
that
bad.
Captain's Parrot had one job, and it didn't do it.
Yeah. Wow, that is a lot of damage coming in.
Yep.
That's basically it.
Yeah, that's
He can
10
put his
damage.
opponent to 7 and kill him next turn. He can just go tall strider, quick shot, face, bing, and then your opponent has to draw heal bot. And even then, like,
You can just quick shot next turn.
can you? Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you
you
can.
can.
So there's the sprint, which he definitely needed, but now he can't heal.
He needs Earthen Ring, right?
He needs Earthen Ring. And
There
Wow.
it is.
Yeah, so he's barely alive. And with a heal bot in his deck, he still kind of has a chance.
He's got to trade his entire board
Yes,
again.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you're definitely going to do. You can't just leave 5 up and be dead to any 3 damage.
Yeah, especially while not setting up lethal.
So Koyuki's new out to win the game is basically draw heal bot and then
No, I think you might go face here, because you're out of range of 1 kill command.
no, you're not.
Yeah,
Oh, are you?
you
Oh,
are.
you're
You
healing,
would
you're
be,
healing.
yeah.
Okay.
I only play around 1 kill command usually, but in these circumstances, it doesn't make very much sense to go face because he's going to set you so low that you're just going to get hero powered down
Yeah,
anyway.
you don't have
and you're-
2-turn lethal. You
Yeah,
don't
you
have
don't have-
3-turn
exactly.
lethal. Like,
Oh,
oh,
he's
but he
dead.
doesn't
Oh,
heal. Okay.
he's dead.
He's gonna take a slight risk.
Yeah, I would take the same risk. Like you
Yeah,
don't normally
this
play
feels
around.
pretty realistic. You're gonna have to kill your
Which-
opponent eventually. They're just gonna keep pinging you for 2.
Yeah, which is one of the advantages of hiding that quick shot there. By hiding that quick shot, it makes
Oh, yeah.
Koyuki not want to heal.
Definitely does not telegraph. I am killing you
I
next
have
turn.
to say that this is, like, after we talked about what might go down in the tournament and that kind of stuff, this is exactly what I expected, you know?
Yeah,
You
that,
expected-
The non-hunter, non-warrior can't win.
oh man.
Well, now it's going to be non-hunter, non-warrior versus non-hunter, non-warrior, most likely.
Probably. I mean, at this point, whatever Koyuki picks doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. He's
Yeah.
some
Might as
people
well stick
say
with it. No,
Yeah.
no, actually, at this point, not only
you should stick with your
you,
deck.
you
because
actually should
have
stick with your
future
deck because you
opponents.
have, you have to win with all 3, but you don't reveal to your future opponents what you have.
This
in
is
your
double
arsenal.
elimination, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to keep stuff hidden.
But anyone
in
loses
case
here,
you lose.
they're still they still got a decent chance to take the tournament.
Sure. So
Yep.
he's going to queue back up with
I actually
Rogue.
lost my first match last season, got 2nd place still, so
There you go.
it's
Yeah.
doable.
Anything can happen.
Silent Storm, lost in groups, won. So
Yeah.
it's not
There
over
you
yet,
go.
even
Not
if you lose
over.
your first match.
Absolutely not.
But he hasn't lost yet. There's
Nope.
still the Shaman, which a lot of people believe is a very, very,
Oh yeah,
very
that is his weak
class.
link
Yes, Shaman
on paper.
not only is like considered a weak class, it's actually not warrior, and
Or
it's not
hunter.
hunter.
Yeah. So
Wow.
It's
So
insane.
Koyuki
The
still
weaknesses are
has
stacking
Warrior
up.
and Hunter.
Yeah,
And
it
he's
does.
going to go with Hunter, surprisingly.
Hunter.
Wow, that is a surprise.
Maybe like a morale-based thing. Just wants to get a win on the board.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Still want to get 3-0'd.
This is almost always a good matchup for the Hunter.
Yeah. I don't think there's any version of current
Yeah.
Shaman that
But then
is
just
good
look at
against Hunter.
Koyuki's side, like rogue, warrior, hunter. Like what are bad matchups against the shaman? None.
Nothing as far as
Nothing.
I... Well, that's
Yeah.
the reason nobody brings Shaman. Like,
If it's Control Warrior, then regular Shaman is very, very good against it. But
regular Shaman beats Control Warrior, but
Does it
not
beat
a lot of
anything
people
else?
are bringing Control Warrior,
well,
right? It beats
we've seen
Druid.
2 Control Warriors already.
Yeah, we've actually only seen control warrior, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
we have yet to see a patron, which is weird.
Everybody's overthinking it. Just get in there.
Getting in there is really
Everyone
good.
get in here.
Everyone.
Everyone. Yeah.
That deck is good.
Patron did pretty well at WCA a few days ago.
I think,
And on ladder.
Pretty good
and in
deck.
most other tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's been in every single one, right?
Yeah.
And every
Another thing is like
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of frustrating to play against just a super powerful deck all the time. But I think Grim Patron Warrior is just cool.
It is really cool.
It's
really
Mech
fun.
Shaman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mech Shaman.
Yeah.
So to be
I don't
expected.
mind it. I don't mind. Like I wouldn't mind every player playing Grim Patron Warrior in this tournament.
Well,
I kind of would.
Really?
I like
But we
seeing
haven't seen it in
variants.
everybody, so.
I would like to see it once today.
I think Hunter is going to be the most represented like deck slash class.
So
That seems to be the case so far,
Yeah. Hunter's pretty good.
as it turns out.
I have a lot of experience with that.
Mech Shaman, one of those decks that can win against anything and can lose against anything.
Yeah, I think Koyuki just kept that whole hand. He's just like, look, a curve.
Yeah, that is a good one.
It's a good one.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that Kabi's still waiting for his opponent to mulligan before he does, but his opponent just 4-capped. That's one of the worst feelings in tournaments.
Yeah. If they keep all 4 of their cards, you know you're dead.
You feel a little bit better because you're up 2-0, but I've been up 2-0 and lost a lot, so...
Mech Shaman is definitely a deck that can get swept.
Yeah.
You can just get Dr. Boom, double Fire Elemental every starting hand.
That's an interesting thing. I never picked up on that. So if you keep your whole hand, it's as if you're waiting to...
Yeah, it doesn't show anything.
Okay.
Then you're just sitting there like, oh my god, did he really?
Very common
Yeah.
common practice in tournaments is you wait to mulligan
Absolutely.
before your opponent does. That way, you know,
kinda know
just
the
in
strength
case,
of their
okay.
hand.
Yeah.
So an example is if you have Knife Juggler as a hunter versus a warrior, you could keep it if you see them pitch their whole hand because it's less likely they have Fiery War Axe. Whereas if they keep 2 cards, it's almost 100% they have War Axe.
Yeah.
And we actually see Kabi had an Earthshock on the mulligan, pitched it, and got another one. So he's playing 2, which is pretty uncommon for the Mech Shaman.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to maybe pay
Gonna
off.
get some value here, yeah.
Wow, the Rock Blade is pretty good.
Yeah.
As opting to just develop
chooses to
instead.
develop, yeah. That's strange, because the Knife Juggler is just going to kill it for free.
Yeah, he gets to kill the 1/2 for free.
Guess he's just racing.
That's a pretty good top deck too. Now he can quick shot the
He could
3/2
quick shot and develop something.
Yeah.
And the Mech Shaman
Yeah,
does
that'd
not
be-
like to clear your
The
minions.
quick shot beats any other option from Animal Companion. Sometimes Animal Companion being so strong and so random, you often consider taking a chance because one of the 3 options is just better. But in this case,
Right.
even that, it isn't. Now with
Yeah,
the
tournament
Leopard.
players tend to go for the highest expected value play. So it's just like, okay, I know this is a good play. This could be, but let's go with the safe option.
With that kill command and the Shredder into Lotheb play, I feel like Koyuki's actually in a really good position just to ignore the Shredder and start racing.
Koyuki's
Also
ahead
because
in the
Kabi
race.
is in a particularly bad position with 2 Fire Elementals.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, Mech Shaman can get those draws where they don't hit all of their early game drops and can
And
get
the dagger
really
goes
clunky.
face.
I think that's fine.
Lead in the charge.
If the Shredder survives in some way or another anyway, you have to kill a bigger threat than the Leper Gnome.
That was a really important top deck. And he's going to go face.
He's going to go face. The race is on.
How do you race this? I don't know.
Well, that is the strategy going in. Like Mech Shaman
Mech
against
Shaman
Hunter, you
is a
outrace
face
the
class.
Hunter.
You have to race them, yeah. You're hoping to hit Doomhammer in time.
The
It's a
issue
really
is
good
the
racing
Shaman
card.
hero power sucks in this
Yeah.
matchup. It's a liability 75% of the time.
Oh, he's opting to not play Lotheb. He's instead going to go with the
Just going to get
Glazuka
more
and-
damage down.
Yeah. It's kind of awkward going into
Ooh.
next turn, though.
That's
Well,
not a very
you
good
can actually
one.
clear this.
Yeah,
I would
man.
not recommend
You're
clearing.
so far ahead on damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you're-
have to go face.
Like, you have a kill command in hand and you're setting him to 11.
You really wanted Huffer
Yeah.
or Leok there because
Yeah.
this just dies flat out. But I mean, now he has to fire early that. He probably has to start trading down. Like,
Yeah.
and your hero power does 2 every turn. Mech Shaman doesn't play heals.
And that's in his juggler.
He needs like a vitality totem or something.
Yeah, he's already at 9 if he kills the Leper Gnome.
You have to kill
And
the
then
juggler.
7 more after the bow.
He's
hit.
thinking if he can lethal next turn if he went face, and there's no card in his deck that does that much
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah, that's going to be enough, right?
That's basically game.
Like, over the next 2 turns, he's got him.
You can play around Lotheb.
I think you just Lotheb.
No, I think you just kill command face. Then he's dead no matter what. They don't play heals.
No, but next turn you can just do Beast, kill Command Hero
No,
Power.
but Lotheb. That's like your only way to lose is if you
Yeah,
get Lotheb.
if you get Lothebbed. So if you
Oh.
kill command face, you win.
But does
If you
Mech
kill
Shaman
Command
run?
Face,
It does
you
run
have
Lotheb
0%.
sometimes, isn't it?
Mech Shaman
It does,
always
yeah.
runs
It runs
Always?
Lotheb. Always runs Lotheb.
Okay.
That's the standard list anyway.
If you kill command face there's no way you can lose.
Yep.
So,
So you're saying that was a misplay?
yeah, he could be outed by Lotheb. There's still probably no way he loses.
Yeah, he can't lose now. It's like you said, the beast kill command is it. But like, let's say he did have Lotheb here. You go to 5.
And he could potentially, if
push
he
6.
Lothebs and sets up lethal, then that would have been game. So,
And would he have?
yeah.
He would have had to top deck something as well.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
Hunter takes it. Koyuki gets a win on the board. I'm sure he's happy about that. I don't think Koyuki is an emotional player at all.
No, doesn't seem like it.
No.
Yep. He's been through his fair share of card game tournaments.
Yeah. But it's nice to be on the upswing. You feel at least a bit confident.
I'm sure Koyuki's been down 0-2 a lot. Like, this is not unfamiliar territory. He doesn't look too upset.
Yeah, he knows he has a chance against Mech Shaman. I mean, like, anything is possible. Especially with Rogue, often has a lot of tools to clean up the early game with backstabs, SIs. They can be fairly favorable against Mech Shaman.
Yeah, we were all surprised to not see the Rogue deck. I mean, it seems about as strong as Hunter, or anything, really.
Yeah,
It seems stronger than Hunter.
You get to hide what kind of Hunter you have if you lose.
Yeah,
But
I would have liked to see Rogue
not only
as well.
that, like, he wasn't playing that fast of a Hunter. So,
Yeah, it was pretty slow.
Yeah, so that doesn't seem like that great of a matchup at all.
The version of Hunter you have is actually pretty relevant in your matches, especially because of like the secrets. Like, knowing your opponent only has Freezing Trap is a huge deal because you can make plays that you normally can't make.
Absolutely.
So, of course, it sucks to think like, if you lose, you don't want to lose, but it can happen.
Yeah.
So you
Now,
have to think like that.
If he queues up the Rogue now and then loses with the Rogue, he just gave away free information, basically. So he still has the same % chance to win the series, except for, like,
He's past the speed bump.
things. I guess.
Here
but
we go.
he still has to win with the Rogue.
Oh,
Here's the Rogue.
We're going to get to see that happen here.
So
Yeah.
if the Rogue can take a win, and the Warrior is indeed Patron, Koyuki's suddenly in a good spot.
No, I think even Control Warrior is fine against
I
Mech
think
Shaman.
Control Warrior is maybe not that great, though.
I think it's better. You got like shield blocks and stuff, and Brawl sometimes can be
The
good.
shield block doesn't usually stop you from losing. You just need some early game presence.
Yeah, you need War Axe. Either Warrior deck.
need
If
your
he doesn't have
weapons,
War Axe, he's
for
dead.
Oh, really? You think it's that big of a deal? You think you can't win
Well,
without War Axe?
The axes are really important.
Because at the same time, I feel like Shaman is one of those classes that just draws like
Yeah,
terribly
if the
sometimes.
Shaman draws good, you need the War Axe. If
Okay.
the Shaman doesn't
Well,
have
the
that
Shaman
great
needs
of a
to draw well no
it doesn't
matter
really
what.
matter.
yeah, then I guess like you win. They drew poor. It's Mech Shaman.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mech decks are really based on getting good openers. So they've got like Cogmaster's really good, Mech Warper or double Mech Warper is insane, and
Even
just
Anoyatron's
the
great.
Whirling
Anoyatron's
Zap-O-Matic is really insane too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just coin Whirling Zap-O-Matic, and you can't kill it, and then you're dead.
So here the Cogmaster.
You know about that.
Yeah, I was able to get somebody on turn 3.
Yep. I think everyone who knows Hearthstone has seen that.
Yeah. So Mech Shaman, very powerful sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes, not all the time.
This is a good hand, though, for the Mech Shaman.
Yeah,
It didn't get
Yeah.
much better, though,
It
without
got
mulligan
a
that.
little worse, actually.
yeah. He's Cogmaster's gonna get backstabbed.
Oh, he's
and,
ready for that Van Cleef.
Oh, Van Cleef.
Ooh.
Imagine he went second. That would have been a backstab Quinn Van Cleef.
Yeah, this is actually interesting how much he'll go for that Van Cleef and then get her shot.
Yeah, that could be a huge deal.
Spider Tank's a really good draw too, because now you can just go coin Spider Tank into Spider Tank.
Wow, he's got backstab SI for the Spider Tank next turn. Maybe I would consider
I would
daggering.
dagger that, yeah.
Yeah.
You only take 2 extra damage,
Yeah.
because almost no mechs have more than 4 health.
I mean, but he has the Deadly Poison in hand, so he's setting up for Deadly Van Cleef on
It's not
turn 4.
just that. It seems
Sure.
like you should have tried to kill the Cogmaster just to protect his SI7.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
why I would have tried to kill it, yeah. But he's trying to set up for the Deadly Van Cleef.
Yeah.
This is better against Anoyatron?
Wait, why?
Oh,
You're just gonna
backstab
go
Van
for the
Cleef.
Van Cleef.
I guess it's a 4/4. It does contest the board.
Okay, so he's gonna set up for the
It is
SI.
in line with his earlier play. So
Yeah, this seems better actually.
Yeah.
Cogmaster is a pretty good draw here.
And will he trade
Face.
to protect
Come on.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
SM Orc? All right.
That was
That
a
answers
snap
that.
face.
So he can clear here, and he can save 2 health. I
Yeah.
think going face was still correct. Yeah, it was. So, turns out going face pretty good. Get your extra damage in.
I like the Deadly Poison SI.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't see anything better.
definitely.
You could try and save, try and sort of set up a Thalnos Flurry, but it seems like it'd just take too much damage.
Yeah.
He's not going to trade with your minions anyway, so
Yeah, that would just develop a weaker board is all. And
Yep.
this leaves you with the Deadly Poison Dagger.
It's perfect
and a 3/3.
sequencing.
yeah, perfect sequencing to avoid damage.
And like we were talking about earlier, the South Sea deckhand is in his rogue list. So kind of going back to his play in the Warrior game makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. The Spider Tank Rock Biter clear. Or just the
I
Yeti.
think I like the Yeti better.
Yeah.
Yeah, me as well.
The Rockbiter functions as a lot of damage in the Mech Shaman if you control like,
that is a
Doomhammer.
top deck.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you clear the Yeti.
You can even play South Sea.
I
and
think
just
you do
start
play
going
South
face.
Sea.
Yeah.
It's not like the Shaman has many board
Yeah,
clears.
it's not like you need to save it.
No Lightning Storm or anything.
You're going really low on cards, but that's fine. Oh, you can armor plating to play on Rockbiter.
Yeah, you saw the hesitation last turn. Maybe you think he has a Rockbiter?
Or you can save that kind of like for a combo card.
Sure.
I like the combo save.
Yeah.
This just pushes 2 more damage, and this is a race matchup eventually. Like if you don't
no,
kill the
I think
Shaman,
it's actually gone from that. I don't think it's a race matchup for the Rogue. I think for the Rogue it's a control matchup, and with the armor plating, you can get a better trade.
well, the Shaman deck does play stuff like Doomhammer, Crackle, Lava Burst. So if you don't kill them quick enough, they will eventually draw the damage to kill you. Doomhammer is especially important.
That's a far eventually right now, though.
It is
Yeah.
a very far eventually. This was a great early game for the Rogue.
Yeah, they've switched to controlling the board now, as we saw by the Rockbiter trade there, instead of saving it for the damage.
Oh my god.
What a plague that card's been.
And there's the armor plating.
Armor plating value.
Oh, the value.
Yeah.
He's just going to pass on the dagger for the flurry. No Harrison, probably in the Shaman.
Oh, there's the
but-
Doomhammer.
okay.
So that's 16 damage over 4 turns.
Not anymore.
And it kills the Talnos.
Gonna trade.
Interesting.
He is really low on cards. I might have killed the pirate instead.
Yeah,
I
I
would
don't,
definitely kill a pirate.
I don't
Yeah,
think
why
you want to
give him a
give him the card. Like, cards are a big
That's
deal.
interesting. Because like that drew him into a Lotheb instead of
And
just
Shredder.
Shredder.
Well, you can't
Yeah,
play
like
both at
just
once.
assuming just like mathematically, not even just
Yeah.
what happened. You're giving him 1 extra draw to draw into 8 minions.
Yeah, and on average, any minion on your deck is better than Talnos.
Yeah.
Like,
So
And not only that, like, you know you had nothing left.
yeah, you know he probably
Like,
isn't going to draw
that was a
minion.
turn 6 backstab spare part play.
now
Yeah,
you can see.
You know he has no minions. Might as well keep him at no minions.
Yeah.
Koyuki's going a lot more aggressive now.
Yeah.
Kind of
Justifiably
senses
so.
that the Shaman will have inevitability with the Doomhammer, and he needs to kill him.
Dr. Boom, but he's overloaded, so he cannot play the Dr.
That
Boom.
Anoyotron's going to block 5 damage. 6, actually, but
Is it?
unless he top decks something.
Yeah, it is.
So really big. Oh, wow.
I don't think that's played, though.
I think he might.
Do you set up lethal without playing it?
No.
Yeah, if you don't set up lethal without playing it, then maybe it's worth. But you can sprint into things
You're going to
like.
have to sprint this game.
No, I just...
Well, you can sprint next turn to get either.
I just think you threaten lethal with 2 cards. Like,
Yeah.
you might just sprint into an Eviscerate.
Yeah, or deadly poison, right? Does that
You
work?
could.
9, 10.
And your
Yes.
Shaman's
Deadly
probably
Poison
not
works
going
as
to
well.
trade, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I think the safe play is just to sneaky sprint next turn.
Yeah, I like that.
oh, Koyuki's going to sprint this turn.
He would have hit the eviscerate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else. He's going to have an oil flurry next turn, which is pretty nice.
But he's still got lethal if Lothar not removed.
Yeah, I think so.
Lava burst.
So
That kind of sucks, because you have
he's
to
got
play Lava
13
Burst.
max. So imagine if Dr. Boom was like a Crackle. Spell Power Totem?
Yeah.
Told you you could kill him. But,
Well,
I mean, you have to boom here.
If you
well,
boom,
no,
don't you
you
lose?
have you know you're dead if you boom. You have the Doomhammer applying pressure, like a Rockbiter off the top could be
Okay.
what it takes.
I think
can
Lava
see
Burst
that.
is it.
Yeah, so I think you have to Lava Burst the 5/4.
You're dead to 6 damage, which is an oil or something plus something.
Yeah,
so
he's gonna take
he's
the
not
risk.
playing around oil. He's saying, if you have oil, good job.
He's got
And
2.
he's got 2.
God.
He has all.
I
of
actually
the-
I like the boom play though.
I'd
like-
you set up lethal off your top deck most
Off
likely.
your top deck. Woo.
I mean, you run only damage in your deck,
Yeah.
so I think it's a fair.
You run a lot of minions in that deck.
You've drawn a lot of minions.
I like showing just the 1 oil, just to make him regret it
He's
even
already
more.
shown the double oil.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
shown it.
no, I just mean just to make him regret it even more. Be like, man, he only had just enough. Should have lava bursted.
I mean, there's a very high likelihood, I think, that you're still threatening lethal if you Lava Burst the Lothar.
I mean, expecting 6 damage from 6 or 7 cards is...
It
like-
had to be Rock
you
Fighter,
expect
right?
it.
Yeah,
or a
you
high
have to know
crackle.
it's coming.
Yeah. I think the chance that you win with a top deck is better than
Chances of him not hitting any damage.
Yeah.
He needed oil, though, not just any damage.
It was pretty grim in any case.
Oil, a combination.
a combination of 2 damage cards or
How many
just
cards
oil.
did he draw?
He had 6 in hand.
6.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'm not saying the odds were good.
Yeah.
It just was a bad situation.
And so now we're 2-2.
We're evened out.
And
It
Koyuki
did go to
is
all 5 games.
in theory,
as was
favored
predicted.
in this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warriors, I definitely think is
And
favored.
Kabi's in a spot that I've been in a lot, and you're not feeling good at this point. Like
Yeah.
it's a bad feeling when you were up 2-0 in your first match.
You're
like
playing not Warrior, not
ready to
Hunter,
get off
and you're
to a
up
good
against
start.
Warrior or Hunter.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
That's pretty rough.
Because before this tournament, like we talked about the third deck thing, he was like, okay, I think Mech Shaman's pretty good. And then you get in this situation, you're like, Mech Shaman wasn't too good.
Yeah, definitely wasn't. Food.
That food's hidden. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's invisible?
All right. Well, we are about to get into the final game here. How one-sided do you think it is? Like, I agree. I think most Warrior versions do beat the Shaman, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Nothing is one-sided against Mech Shaman. It's a deck that can do anything, especially if it's the Fel Reaver version.
Yeah.
Because
We haven't seen that, though.
Yeah, we haven't seen any Fel Reavers.
And we have seen additional Earth Shocks.
Yeah, Earth Shocks.
So one additional Earth Shock.
I feel like adding Earth Shocks is cutting power and adding consistency,
yeah.
which I don't like in the Mech Shaman. I like just raw power and
Explosive.
hope.
You
Yeah,
like just hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Mech Shaman way, I guess.
Grim Patron, boys.
yeah,
like-
with a shield block
I like going second
and a Gnomish.
as the Shaman player. That's not a good hand, but
Yeah, coin out Whirling Zapmatic,
yep,
no
you
answer,
just, you
too
just
much
gotta
free
go
damage.
for it. And right now, the only answer is inefficient.
Yeah.
He gets 2 draws for the axe. First one's a miss.
All right.
Wait, this
Whirling
can
Zapmatic.
deal with it, kind of.
Oh, he's probably gonna play.
yeah, he's gonna go for the
top deck,
Neutron.
man. They're
But
definitely
then
the
that
safer
makes
play.
the Whirlwind Inner Rage play pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not as
because
bad.
then it also has the utility of taking off the shield for your weapon on 4.
Yeah.
So I think he will do that.
Interesting. What do you guys think about the? We saw off the mulligan, the Gnomish Inventor and the shield block. What do you guys
Yeah.
think about those in Patron Warrior?
I know that Koyuki's teammates with the Rat, who has done self-proclaimed almost 1,000 games of Patron Warrior,
God.
and I'm sure they work together for this tournament. So I know that they have a lot of logic behind their decisions, and it's more of like, I've heard it described as more of a solitaire version of the deck, where you're just playing to draw your combo pieces and kill them, as opposed to play minions, get them to stick, and play more of a value game. So it could be
Makes
more of a
sense.
fast combo-y version.
All right. Looks like he's gonna go for the full board clear here with the Whirlwind
Yeah.
and then Inner Rage.
I know the basically how you beat a Grim Patron Warrior is you just pressure them too much. So even though the Warrior has answers here because he's burning these combo pieces, he might just be giving away his win condition.
Yeah, he's losing the Battle Rage value, which is really important here. But he has the Deathbite in hand to act as another Whirlwind. We do see
Yeah.
the Fel Reaver.
Wow.
Kabi's just relying on top decking one of his 4 drops. I think he has 3 in his deck. Spider Tank wouldn't be that bad either. So, 5 outs off the top have a really nice play.
All right, so Frothing Berserker off the top.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't die immediately to the weapon. It needs the weapon and something a little more.
I mean, this Fel Reaver could actually take over the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have an answer yet.
Oh, God.
This Cogmaster, not so much.
No.
Should have crackled first for sure if he was going to, which now he decides not to. And
That ended up
Rough.
being kind of sloppy.
yeah, it looked like he didn't think too much through that and kind of caught himself. He also revealed that he did have a direct damage spell in his hand by pointing it.
Yeah. I would like to take the Battle Rage here. Just bump off the 1-2 and then take the 2 cards off Battle Rage.
Yeah. The other option is to set up the Deathbite. That way you can just Emperor cleanly next turn. But the Battle Rage gets you more Emperor value, which is actually sort of important. You are in a defensive position, but you do have to win the game eventually. And with Lothab and Boom and Fel
Whoa.
Reaver,
Don't take only 1 card. Ooh.
One card.
He did not want the other one.
No.
that's
Well, he doesn't want the
strange.
he doesn't want the Frothing Berserker to die to the
to die to
weapon.
the Power Mace. Yeah.
Seems
So
fair.
I
there
guess
is
He thinks there's
Some merit.
there's merit to it, but you're basically giving up a card to save your Berserker.
It's so interesting to me
Which is
how,
pretty
like,
good.
Battle Rage is such a dominant card in Warrior now. And Battle Rage has had like the biggest, like one of the biggest up and down swings of any card in
Well,
Hearthstone.
the old Warrior decks didn't have that many minions to put on the field. And now there's a minion that can function as 6 minions.
Yeah. And like the damaging your own minions part was kind of hard to do back then.
Yeah.
And the card sucked back then. Like Battle Rage was 3 mana.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 mana and then 3 mana and then back to 2 mana. And when it was back to 2 mana, everyone played it and realized the Warriors still wasn't very good with it. And they dropped it. And now Warriors really good because of Grim Patron.
Yeah.
Works. Now it's back in the game.
Yeah.
That's a good card. When it goes up and down through like a lot of different swings in Hearthstone.
Koyuki actually already has the combo.
Yeah, and he goes to Emperor and takes.
And he has a cruel.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
He's taking a lot of heat though. That was the expense of playing that Emperor. That is some damage.
Took 13 that turn.
Yeah.
Wow. I think he can clear though.
Yeah, he can clear.
He can clear this board.
Can he kill his opponent maybe? Probably not.
Probably not. I think he's got 10 damage from hand, and it's going to add another 1 damage to the frothing. So that's 20. His opponent's at 26, so
it's close.
Not quite.
Oh, we just saw the remaining Wind Fury cards in the deck gone. That's good.
Rockbiter gone
Doomhammer?
as well.
Yeah, the Doomhammer and the other Whirling Zap-O-Matic just
Zap-O-Matic's not a big deal.
left
but
the game.
Crackle might actually be the
Harvest
best card left in his deck, besides like Rag potentially. But he
Lava
might not
Burst
have
as
time.
well.
for
No,
that.
I think it's close to over. Like
Yeah, I mean you can clear here. This is like the crazy thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Shaman's out of gas, except for Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
You're gonna
He's
get a lot of patrons. Dr.
And a
Boom
huge
doesn't
hit.
really help against patrons.
That is a lot of damage.
Wow. Yeah, I mean this frothing is actually just gonna solo him. He cannot play Dr. Boom.
Yeah.
Excellent turn, by the way.
Yeah, that was really well positioned and ordering and everything.
Everything
I
was
think he
perfect.
did that perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not easy. Like there are cards and decks in Hearthstone that are easy.
Yeah.
Like most Druid decks, for instance.
Or Hunter.
He's just
Yeah.
dead here to the patron. Like he gets 2 extra patrons off that Annoyotron. Don't even know if he was supposed to play that.
Yeah, the Annoyotron is working against him here.
Yeah. That's pretty much game. No burn in hand.
Yeah, he gets to.
He's just gonna die next turn.
No, he dies this
There's
turn.
no
He does
lightning.
this turn. You slam your own Grim
Wow,
Patron.
yeah.
You could slam your own Grim Patron or equip the War Axe or
Yeah,
slam
he
it and equip
maximized
the
his
War Axe.
damage. Wow. Everyone did get in there.
Yeah, they did.
And like we were talking about, we had to wait.
Wasn't that awesome? Come on.
We had to wait 9 games to see
I
this.
want to see lots more of that.
But there
Unfortunately,
it is.
Koyuki took it, so we are more likely to see more getting in here than Control Warrior.
That's good. I think it's a better
First
deck.
reverse sweep.
Yeah. First reverse sweep.
Mech
But
There'll
it
be
was
more to
exactly as we planned it. It was the non-hunter, non-warrior that basically tanked it for both players.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Koyuki got all of his losses with Rogue,
Yeah.
and the other guy got all of his losses with Shaman, and we just see how
Oh,
how
man.
balanced
Why'd
Hearthstone
they bring
is.
those classes?
Yeah.
Come on.
I thought it was awesome though. I enjoyed it.
What?
Didn't you?
Some player in this tournament's going to have a really good third deck.
My favorite
And they're
play
gonna win.
of the entire series that time was just that freezing trap on 2.
Okay.
That won him the game, right?
That won him that game,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
right
did.
there.
Absolutely.
Very small decisions that led to taking a really bad hand to the.
well,
to the
we
end.
saw some very good plays throughout.
Yeah,
both
there's
players.
definitely both players. Like Koyuki at the end there, how he did that patron turn perfectly. And
Yeah,
It's-
you
it's-
can tell he
it's-
practiced that deck a lot.
yeah, you can tell he's a patron player.
It's a deck you can play perfectly, just like most decks in Hearthstone, but it's one that usually takes more time than you're allowed to play perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to get going quick,
Mm-hmm.
especially in live events. Like you can't. You tend to take a lot more time thinking in live events,
Yeah.
and then the rope hits you out of nowhere. And with patron, that's bad.
That was
Really
one of the
bad.
fixes we were discussing. We just make Grim Patron animation twice as long, nerf
Oh
the deck.
man.
What?
Okay.
That's a
You
very
into that?
No.
No.
It's a very silly nerf.
Rather just nerf Force on Commander, but hey.
Yeah. Well, that's some good stuff. I believe it's Frodan who has an interview ready with Koyuki and get his thoughts on his victory. Let's get into that.
Thank you very much, Crip. That's right. I'm joined by Koyuki, who won his first match. You were down early on, and it seemed a little stressful. Just walk me through that series in terms of how you were mentally thinking.
Yeah, I mean, he got some good RNG in both games with the Nefarian in the first one, and then with the Boombots doming me for 7. I want to know if there was a gasp in the crowd after that one, because that was a pretty big turn. But yeah, the first matchup was a pretty bad matchup for me anyways, so I was surprised I was as close as I was. But I mean, I've been playing tournaments forever. Being down 0-2 sucks a lot, but you just have to find a way to get back.
For sure, and it seemed like you were able to keep it together and get that rogue rolling eventually, which was important. So let's talk a little bit about how you are doing yourself, preparation-wise. You're on a new team, Team Illuminati Hearthstone. So I guess we're just gonna go ahead and put it out there. Whose idea was it to call it Illuminati?
I'm just gonna assume it's Alchemist. When he approached me, he's like, "I'm putting another team. This is what we're gonna be called." And we've got a great group of guys that are, joining on. So I was like, every question I asked, he answered, and I was like, all right, I'm in. Sounds good.
So then why them and not another team? Because you've been around for a very long time, for over a year now in terms of your exposure to Hearthstone. You perform well in a few tournaments here and there, but yet this is the first notable team that I think you've joined.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I just never got a lot of serious offers. I would get approached by teams here and there, and most of the time, they'd approach me, say something, and then I'd never hear from them. They might have made a team, but they disappear real quickly. I was waiting for a good opportunity to join a solid team, so I turned down kind of a lot of smaller team offers, because I could have joined them and tried to work my way up, and that would have been fine as well. But most of them just didn't seem that solid and kind of in and out. This one seems in it for the long haul, and that's what I was more worried about. So,
you're also a card game legend in other games, like Legend of the Five Rings, for example. But you also split your time. You recently won the most recent Gen Con, I believe. And so when you're playing all the card games, it's really hard to split your time. But are you focusing more on Hearthstone now that you've joined a team and you've gotten more serious? Or is it still like, well, I like Hearthstone, I'll just play this, kind of like Brian Kibler, for example, and I'll still play other games?
I'm focusing more on Hearthstone. L5R has kind of been taking a back seat for the last 5 or 6 months. So, yeah, I'm definitely focusing strongly on Hearthstone more lately and less on other card games. So.
That's good. So we can finally expect Paladin to be back on the top of the horse, right? With you innovating, I'm pretty sure Paladin will be in a good spot.
Maybe. It's getting harder and harder to innovate. Players are getting better. There's more players just in general. There's a lot more cards being explored. So it takes quite a leap to innovate something meaningfully different, not just like a card or two, gradual progression kind of thing.
Sounds like a good opportunity for Koyuki maybe to showcase his deck building as time goes on. Congratulations on your win, man. Good luck in the next match. We're going to go over to Crip, who's on the couch with a couple of players, and gather his thoughts as we get ready to go over there.
Thank you.